It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. The Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows it all.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel where I provide my views on talented artists from around the world. And today we are going over to the United States and we are checking out a remix that Dax has done on the back of Richmond's North of Richmond. That's the Oliver Samuels track. Incidentally, black and white. Wow, amazing. For me, Dax, yes, Dax has been around for a long time. And of course, you know, to the Hangman Gang, you know, Sir Tom and Lady Nova has been around, blew up. And they bring, well, not saying they bring Dax along with them. That's maybe a horrible way of putting it. But they've done a number of collaborations with Dax. And Dax is now beginning to blow up now. I mean, maybe because he's signed or whatever, not gone the independent route. But I feel that if you look at it, that it's not a race, it's a marathon, then that's certainly blooming right about now. And I think more and more people are listening to Dax, as in the momentum of the Dax momentum is growing every single day, because they finally see what has always been there. He is a great lyricist. He really is. And, you know, once again, he had to work 3 times harder than the average Joe just to get where he is right about now, just to get the same amount of wages. But he's never complained about that. Not once has he. He's not that person. And that's what I like about Dax. You can put him any freaking where and he'll make something out of something. And he will not complain about it. You know? I feel that you can't argue with Dax because he'll put you in your place. When you think that you know, or think that you've got a conversation or a debate going on, you know, regardless of what it is, Dax will have that covered. Certainly will do. And I also like the fact that you can, like I said before, you can put Dax anywhere and he'll still be Dax. You know, he'll still have his mouth. He would not shed away from, you know, any kind of debate or discussions. You can clearly see that. And I love that. I'm going to go straight into my next reaction of today. And it's a small little rant and rave about Dax. I feel that he's just like under the radar for many, many people who check out similar artists with the same caliber, but not everyone checking out him. You know, that's kind of weird. But look, that's me ranting and raving. Apologies for that. Look, let's go straight into my next reaction of today. So this is a remix that Dax has done, Richmond North of Richmond. I don't know what to expect. I really don't know. So I really am intrigued. So I can't wait to press the play button, which I'm going to do right now. So without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good video audio music. Can you dig it? United we stand, divided we fall.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
Canada and America.
Living in the new.
Is he Canadian?
With an whole
yes, of course. So it's Tom McDonald as well, isn't it?
North of Richmond, Lord knows it all. Just wanna have total control.
This world has changed and I had to accept it. They ask my political views while I search for their hidden agendas. I don't got an answer, I try to remember the devil divides. Pressure appears from our peers. Those arguments waste our time while helping to push their lies, so fuck political views. I got common sense. I know God made man, and the sun sets on a life where we focus on things that we cannot control and accumulate so much regret. By the time we decide to live, we're practically already dead.
So what Dax is, I believe, is doing is basically speaking about what everybody is talking about. Because Oliver Samuels Oliver Anthony or Chris Anthony, he's kicked the door open for a massive amount of debates on this particular track. And everybody's got something to say about it. And Dax is now filling in the blanks. And what I mean by filling in the blanks, he's basically putting his rap thing there, what everybody was talking about and debating about. He's putting it into he's summarizing it. Brilliant. You know what? When I see Dax remix, and when I'm the only person that I can see that can replace this image, that I say, who else would you put on this particular track other than Tom MacDonald and Dax? It would have to be like the likes of Eminem. I can see Eminem rapping to this song, doing this remix of this song. Do you know what I mean? No one else. I can't see, you know, you're like Jay-Z or... do you know what I mean? I can't see that picture. But I can certainly see Eminem on there. So I can also see Tom on there. I can see Dax on there. But Dax is the one that's picked up the gauntlet and is rolling with it. And you know what? He's going to hit various thick subjects. He's going to touch on a number of subjects. And you better have a keen ear, because if you don't, you're going to miss it. Because it's going to be bang, 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 like he's doing right now. He's hitting all these topics with these really, really strong wording. And the sweetener is the facial expression, the emotion that is pouring into the lyrical content. I'm going to go back just a little bit, about say here.
By the time we decide to live, we're practically already dead. So I go to sleep with the thoughts of 45 years living in debt. 45 years can't pay rent. 45 years just for a pension. I'm too old to enjoy and go spend. 45 years working and slaving for rich men with no time for my family and friends. Then I wake up and pray that it ends.
Living in the new world with an whole soul.
Yep, that's the hard-working man right there.
Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Descendants of Adam and Eve, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They're taking God out the schools. Our kids don't know what to believe. From 6 to 18, the curriculum fails, and Gen Z gets taught by their phones with forced feeds that get sponsored and paid by companies. That's how they attack us. It starts with the youth. If you lie enough, you'll convince anybody the lie's the truth. So telling these kids they can choose their own gender at ages they can't even tie their own shoes. Drive or drink is crazy. Common sense isn't common unless it pays me. That's the thought process daily. Look at the content we're creating, lies diluting our brains. I'm done trying to argue online with these people who think that a vote's gonna bring about change. How many presidents does it take to have a life worth living? An actual comfortable wage. No more school shootings. Let's unite these states.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
Yes, it is.
Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Wow. Dax, man. So that was the remix of Richmond, created by Dax. He's hit on every kind of subject. And this is not the first time. You know, if you go into his catalogue, you see the title, you see the subject, and you see how hard-hitting he does it. So he, like I said, he picked up the gauntlet to make it more aware that what Chris Anthony was talking about regarding Richmond north of Richmond, sorry, that there was more to be added onto it. I feel that Chris Anthony, he's giving you the whole summary of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? What's peed him off, a personal factor, which everybody could relate to, and that's where one side of the coin is. And now Dax has flipped it over, where he's talking to, not where everybody can relate to, but he's talking about what is happening to everywhere, what's happening. And it's not a personal thing. It's shouting out there, a voice for everybody, saying, look, this is what we're going through. How can we let this happen? How did we let this happen? How many presidents does it take to sort this out? Why is it that when every president comes in, there's a new structure of problems that cover the other problems or make the other problems so minuscule that you hardly see it? But there is a number of subject matters that's happening around the planet, which is like, it's a massive debate in courts and everything else. I saw over in India, they're talking about the alphabet people, the apologies, but I can't keep up with, I know the LBTQ, but there's more. And it will carry on keeping adding because there's more people that want to be counted, so to speak. But there's a massive wave of new structures and new things to be spoken about, rather than put underneath the, just to be hidden away. And certain people consider this is, look, this is getting ridiculous now. And there's people who it affects and say, no, it's not ridiculous. This has to be spoken about because this is the way how I feel. So there's a mixture, but I don't see there's any kind of balance. But it's all for us to decide that. It's for us to participate and create something that makes us and the world happy, rather than leaving it into the heads of figures, the states or whatever, and them decide. Because they're making a pig's ear out of everything right about now. In the past 20 years, they're making a pig's ear out of everything. It's like they're preparing us for more mess-ups. But as long as we have the likes of Chris Anthony, and the likes of Dax, the likes of Tom McDonald, the likes of Ren Gill, there's going to be, I must see, those are the army of angels within music terms. The people that you can't waver, the people that you can't move, the people that when they talk, when they sing, they are, even though they don't want to be, but you certainly are, you're an influencer. Dax, you're an influencer. Tom McDonald, you're an influencer. Lady Nova, you're an influencer. Ren Gill, you're an influencer. More and more people will get drawn into what you're saying, and the fact that you put it in music terms, rather than, getting on a pedestal and preaching. In some ways you are preaching, but, with music behind it, that makes it all that much sweeter. But nevertheless, people are watching, people are listening. People are showing their emotions. You are opening up the void so it can be recognized, so we can give it a title, so we can deal with it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Until next time, I salute you. Boom.
True, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new.